a really, really great macaroni and cheese that is not baked.
Okay.
It's simple, and you have to get all the right cheeses, though. That's the secret. And so we have 1 pound of elbow macaroni into boiling salted water. Let that come to a boil. Oh, and one fabulous little thing. Do you know what a frico is?
I do not.
Okay, frico is a Parmesan cheese, sort of like a crisp.
Okay.
So just use a silpat like this. You have a silpat?
None of that either.
This is a silpat. It's a silicone sheet that you put in a cookie sheet, a non-stick. And so if you want to make this, I'll give you one of these.
Perfect.
Make sure we give them a Martha Stewart silpat, okay?
Gifts are great. I love gifts.
Yes. And you put this right into the oven, and I think it's at 400 degrees, and just until the cheese melts. And then when you take it out, it hardens up, and you can break it into crunchies.
See, that's the key with me. I always want my stuff fast, so you got to tell me the temperatures. I don't want to burn anything. Grate
some Gruyere for me. We need a ½ cup of Gruyere grated on that side of the grater.
I can do that for you.
And I'm going to make, it's sort of like a bechamel we're going to make. So it's 2 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour.
All right. Am I grading this whole thing up for you?
½ cup. Eyeball it.
Let me stand back.
Now, I read someplace that you took special lessons to improve your batting.
Yes, I did.
Now, like, what's a special lesson for somebody like you?
It's almost like a cooking class. You know, when I all of a sudden start burning stuff, I got to figure something out. We got to change some things up. So what ended up happening, our hitting coach, Kevin Long, we started having a couple lessons in the batting cages. Yeah. We changed a couple little tweaks.
It changed your average a lot.
It did. Everything went up to help out in the playoffs, and it ended up helping us out a lot to win some games at the end of the season.
Don't I sound impressive? I know all about batting averages and
she's
stuff.
really smart when it comes to that stuff.
And about special tutoring. He had after-school tutoring.
But I wasn't in trouble, though. I wasn't in trouble. That wasn't the reason why I did that.
No, you just did it to get even better.
That's
right.
Is that a nice eyeball?
That
we need a little more.
That looks good. Okay, so now we're going to make the sauce, and here you have your butter and flour already cooked. You have to cook the flour.
All right.
And then you add milk, 3 cups of milk. Okay, that's hot. And keep stirring that until it gets thick like a bechamel. Okay, then we have one cooked over here, so let's go over here.
Let's slide on over.
Yep. And this, you can stir that, Curtis, while I add the cheese. Okay, I'm going to turn this up. It has to be hot, and you add a ½ cup of sharp white cheddar. Very important that you get these 4 cheeses. Comte, C-O-M-T-E. It's a very beautiful cheese.
Okay.
Not typical in a macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
But, yep, a ½ cup of that, a ½ cup of Monterey Jack.
Nice.
And you know about that.
Of course.
Mexican food.
Love it.
And a ½ cup of the Gruyere that you just did. So lots of cheese. Oops. And put that in there. Oh, and don't forget 2 teaspoons of salt.
Okay. Regular salt, or we're using sea salt here?
Well, I use coarse salt, kosher usually. ½ teaspoon of black pepper, and ½ cup of heavy cream.
Hey, this is smelling and looking great.
Yep. So we want that to melt up, and then look at this. We have our macaroni already cooked.
Nice.
I love macaroni and cheese. Add a ½ cup of sharp white cheddar, cut it into little chunks, because that'll give a little crunchiness to it. And now you can pour that white sauce right over this, and this is it, basically. You can
simple enough.
Yep, all of that. Just pour it on. I'll stir.
Stir as I pour.
And so if you're having a big party, you can make this in batches and just bring it out. And here, you can use a rubber scraper. Use this to get all that out.
There we go.
And you can put it in a serving dish. But and here's your frico. Look. See what happens?
It turns out to look like.
All you do is this, and you just crunch it up. And it adds this beautiful color on the top. It looks like it was baked. See that? Mm-hmm. So here, I'll give you a little bit. You have to stir this.
Okay.
Does it look good?
It looks great. Hey, and surprised, even though I'm this small, I love to eat, so.
Yes, do you?
Yes, we can definitely get after it right now.
Yep, here.
Perfect.
I'll give you a little bit to taste, and some frico on top.
Perfect.
Look how pretty.
Yes.
It really is delicious. First night out on the town with Brendan and Jim, the boys took me to some of their favorite Brooklyn hangouts. Cheers. Oh, cheers. I selected the location for our second date night, one of my favorite Manhattan restaurants, Danielle. What do you think?
Magical.
This is Danielle.
I would say Daniel, but it's Danielle.
Danielle.
Good evening, monsieur. Welcome
Hi.
back. How are you? Nice to see you.
Thank you very much. Very nice to see you.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
My two guests who have never been to such a fine restaurant as Danielle.
Excellent. Right this way, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
After you. We're not in Brooklyn anymore.
Thank you so much. This is one of the most elegant rooms in New York.
You've never been to my living room, just saying.
The colonnade, the amazing flower decorations. And
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Hello.
Chef Daniel would like to welcome you with a glass of champagne this evening.
Please.
Yes.
In 1986, this was the Cirque, one of the first amazing restaurants in New York. And Danielle was the executive chef. Chef Danielle Boulud left the Cirque to open Danielle in 1993. When the Cirque moved from the Mayfair Hotel to a new location, Danielle relocated his restaurant in the old space in 1998. I brought Alexis, my daughter, here with her college friends, and all the girls ordered fettuccine with white truffles. And then they proceeded with their fork to go like this.
To pick them out.
To pick them all out and push them off to the side. Now, we're going to have white truffles, and
Yes.
you are not going to do that.
Ceviche.
To our second date.
Yes. Thank you.
Ooh, wow. So I know this place has 3 Michelin stars. Do you get 1 waiter per star?
Each star, yes.
Determine that?
We try.
Okay.
There will be a section of canapé to start this evening.
Do you remember the first time you went to a super fancy place like this?
I was dating a guy who had an American Express card from his father.
Oh my.
And so we took full advantage of the American Express card. We went everywhere.
So what happened to American Express boy?
He was the one I married. And subsequently divorced. But not before I ate in every great restaurant.
So you took him for what he was worth.
Definitely.
Good dinner.
To continue, there will be some golden ocetra caviar.
Now, have you had caviar?
I've had fish roe on sushi, but nothing like that.
You?
I'm a little freaked out to eat fish eggs, I'm not gonna lie.
Taste it. You'll like it. Tasty. Oh, we're gonna have wine too.
White wine to come. That will go with your first course, which chef surprise. The chef will be cooking for you this evening.
Chef surprise.
So what happens when you're out to a super fancy place and the chef brings you something and you don't like it?
I just say, oh, I'm allergic.
Oh, that's good.
We wouldn't have any allergies to the food Danielle was preparing for us.
1 frog legs and 1 agnolotti working well, huh? Yes, so basically the frog legs is prepared with a taste of 2 different squash. Voilà, the agnolotti from Marta and the frog legs. I think she's gonna like it.
Oh, look at this truffle. How big is that?
Oh my goodness.
So that cost about $9 million right there.
Right.
Have you ever been tempted to steal one of those?
What?
It's very tempting.
Oh, and look what you got.
I've never had a Kermit leg before.
Best tender chicken.
Oh, it's like the most tender thing I've ever had.
This white truffle, it's out of control.
Here, now you have to taste this.
Yes. Should we do switchies?
Okay. You have to also eat that little frog's leg that's sticking up. Perfect. And the best frog's legs, those little teeny ones, I think come from France. We don't want to eat those frog's legs that are that long, that come from the Everglades.
We're allergic to those, right, Martha?
Right. We're allergic to those.
So everyone, like, no one seems to be freaking out that Martha Stewart's at a table next to them.
In a place like this, people are very, casual about identification.
In New York, can you go out and do your things?
People are pretty fair.
Okay.
And I'm just Martha. I'm not Paul Newman.
Yeah.
You don't have your own salad dressing yet. that's 2011,
Yeah,
Martha
Paul
Stewart.
Newman.
Last time we asked you about if you've been dating. Is there a secret love you can't talk about yet?
I have a crush on somebody.
You have a crush on someone?
I'm going to California, and hopefully he will be there.
What do you look for in a man?
Just electricity.
Ooh.
I feel like I just got electric right here.
I know. I know.
Oh, look.
So there will be the turbo, which is roasted on the bone, cooked on Himalayan rock salt.
Oh, we have to watch how he does this. Look, tableside service is so elegant.
The closest we've ever gotten to that is someone singing Happy Birthday at TGI Fridays.
What? Look.
The turbot served with a variation of a cauliflower and a cauliflower muslin. There will be also a green peppercorn jus to go with. There will be for you, sir, the lamb, crusted with Meyer lemon, served also with a barbacoa and a shoulder, and a paprika harissa sauce and a natural lamb jus to go with.
So a little Morocco.
Exactly.
I've been to Morocco via Epcot at Disney World.
And that would be the
Oh, and what is
Scottish
this?
grouse.
Scottish grouse.
I don't know what is grouse.
It's a bird. I went to opening day of grouse season in Scotland.
So it's a
and I had to
Scottish bird?
shoot one. You know, I go like this and make believe I'm shooting because I don't like to kill anything. But I did accidentally shoot one because I saw it. How does it taste?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. At first bite, I thought I was allergic to it. But it's quite lovely. Rotate! This is the best fish I've ever had.
Isn't it wonderful?
Oh my goodness.
Have the grouse. Your lamb is delicious.
This is probably the meal of a lifetime right now.
And we have a fantastic treat. The chef has invited us into the kitchen.
What?
In the kitchen, we were greeted by Executive Chef Jean-François Bruel. Why don't you tell my guests how this kitchen works?
You have about 45 chefs working. You have a station where we do all the little canapes, all the cold food. And then over there, you have an induction stove where we do all the truffle dishes. And then the main stove, all the right side is the meat and the left side is the fish. And the sous chefs are controlling everything in the front where it gets plated.
Maybe we could see the dessert chef, the pastry
Of course.
chef.
So this is Dominique Ancel, a pastry
How do you
chef
do? Nice
for
to
the past
see
5
you.
years.
What desserts are you making tonight?
This is our petit four trays.
That looks like caviar.
It is cranberry caviar.
What do you think?
Here's our fresh baked madeleines.
Oh my
Whose favorite food? Madeleine's.
Francesca?
In history, French.
Monsieur?
Marcel Proust.
Oh.
He lay in bed and talked about Madeleine's. Thank you again, Dominique.
You're welcome.
Very much. I think our second date was successful.
Yep.
Ciao. Bye.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again.